this video is recorded on October 27th, 2020. Not 5 days. Like, let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days before the official presidential election. And, you know, I'm really thinking that if Biden wins, the stock market could crash, because just after listening to the debate between Trump and Biden does not care about the stock market whatsoever. But in this video, I do have a video that kind of counteracts it. But first, I'm going to be playing the video where Trump talks about the stock market. He says that if Biden wins, the stock market will crash. And I'll play it, and then I'll talk more about it.
He tried to hurt Social Security years ago.
All right, let's move on. I'm going to move on. Mr. President, I have to move on to the next question.
They said the stock market will boom if I'm elected. If he's elected, the stock market will crash.
Okay, let's move on to the next question very quickly.
Look, the idea that the stock market is booming is his only measure of what's happening. Where I come from in Scranton and Claymont, the people don't live off of the stock market. Just in the last three years during this crisis, the billionaires in this country made, according to the Wall Street, $700 billion more dollars. $700 billion more dollars, because that's his only measure. What happens to the ordinary people out there? What happens to them?
Let's talk about what's happening on Capitol Hill. We're going to move on.
401ks are through the roof.
We're going to move on.
Stock are through the roof.
Hey, NBC News.
So yes, this was a clip from NBC, but as we can see, Trump cares about the stock market a lot. Biden doesn't care about the stock market. He doesn't care if the stock market crash. He's like, boo-hoo, billionaires lose money. Ooh, I really care. That's basically his attitude towards the stock market. So if we ever had a big event, there won't be that Donald Trump telling big money and banks to buy the dip. Because he's prevented 2 stock market crash already, in my opinion. So, and you know, if Biden wins and if some major event comes up that crashes the market, Biden is not going to care. He's not going to care about having the V-shaped recovery on the stock market. So, but I did come across a video where this guy was super smart, and this kind of counteracts of what Donald Trump says, and it doesn't matter if Trump wins or Biden wins. So I'm going to play the video, and I'll talk more about it.
It's completely a question of what the Fed does. The stock market bubble that we're in today and the bond market hyper bubble are 100% due to the trillions of new currency units being created by the Federal Reserve. The level of the stock market has nothing to do anymore with the economy. It has only to do with the amount of new money that flows out of the Fed in Washington. So what it's leading us to is what I called the Greater Depression. The actions of the government have caused tremendous distortions and misallocations of capital in the society that are going to have to be liquidated. Gigantic levels of debt that when the economy slows down, which it is now, much of which will be defaulted on. And some of that debt is all somebody else's asset. So we're looking at what I call the Greater Depression. It's going to be longer lasting and deeper and different from the unpleasantness of 1929 to 1946. So hold on to your hat. We're not having a V-shaped recovery. That's nonsense. That's political propaganda. This is going to go on for at least a decade, and it's going to be scary. And we're just in the first inning still, shockingly.
Wait a minute, Doug. So we're not in a depression already? I mean, if you take a look at annualized GDP this year, 33% contraction. That was multitudes worse than what we saw in 29.
Yes, we're already in a depression. We're just in the first inning of the depression.
So it's gonna. How's it going to evolve? What specifically is going to be worse in our society? We've already seen, you know, a comatose economic environment where we've all been locked down and shut down for businesses and whatnot. Savings rates have skyrocketed. Unemployment has skyrocketed. How could things possibly get worse, Doug?
Oh, they could get a lot worse. For instance, the dollar still has value, but at some point, pretty soon, you're going to see retail prices going up radically in various places. And that's going to be scary. And what's the government going to do about that? Well, they might do what Nixon did back in 1971 and slap on wage and price controls. The government will likely put on foreign exchange controls as well to keep rich people from getting their capital outside of the country, because it's going to be increasingly dangerous to keep it in the United States. So there are going to be lots of differences. And of course, the prospect of
This is why I am kind of bullish on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is a way for rich people to get their money, their currency, out of the US dollar or out of the country. It's the best way, and it's not traceable. It's hard to trace Bitcoin. So, and the Fed is going to keep printing money. Eventually, the stock market will crash, no matter if Trump or Biden wins. Eventually, but for now, as long as the money printing keeps going on, the markets will continue to stay up, at least according to this guy. Anyways, I don't want to fearmonger, but it is definitely dangerous to be in the market. It's kind of speculation at the moment, but hey, that's just my opinion, and this is not financial advice. Oh my god, I got another minute. I'm just gonna play another minute of his video, and then I'm gonna end it because I need to make it 8 minutes.
the war is with us.
Isn't this good for equities then? Isn't this good for investors? Because if going back to what you said earlier, the worse the economy, the more the stimulus. And like you explained, we're not really relying on fundamentals and earnings anymore for stock market growth. All we need is stimulus. And so the worse our economic condition, the more money they're going to print out, the better it is for stocks. So isn't this a huge opportunity for investors?
For a period of time. And you shouldn't say investors at this point, David, because in today's world, it's very hard. It's almost impossible to be an investor since the world's so politically driven. The stock market is going to crash at some point for all kinds of fundamental reasons, but it could double from here before it crashes. I doubt it, but it's possible because it's driven by monetary instruments. So you have to be a speculator. And an investor is somebody who plants a seed of corn and is willing to wait until the corn comes up, and then he's got many pieces of corn. It's predictable growth. But a speculator is one that takes advantage of politically caused distortions in the economy. And in this highly politicized world we live in today, you have to think like a speculator. You can forget about saving dollars. It's too bad. Most Americans, if they have assets, they're in the form of dollars. But that's going to prove to be as stupid over the next decade as an Argentine keeping his assets in the form of pesos. They're both fiat currencies.
So how do you feel about gold and gold stocks? I just spoke.
Okay, that's it for the video. If you want to listen to what he has to talk about gold, you can go watch the video for yourself. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for future updates and have a great day. Bye.